What's happening, everybody? It's your man's Jinx, man. I know I'm in the same clothes. I did these last two videos back to back because I just had them ready and they've been sitting here, and now it's time to get on with it. But on this particular video, we're going to talk about the new documentary that came out on Christopher Reeve called Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. And I did actually go and watch this in the theaters. Me and my pops went to go and check it out. I don't think too many people go to the movie theaters to check out documentaries, and that's understandable, but I was just so hyped on this one when I heard about it that I really wanted to go see it on the big screen, and I don't regret it. So let's get into this documentary. Well, first of all, I gotta let you know, man, I love Christopher Reeve Superman. That is the Superman that was introduced to me at a very young age. My dad put me onto those, and he became my definitive idea of Superman, who Superman was, what he was supposed to be. I think that Chris Reeve played both Clark Kent and Superman just flawlessly and did such an amazing job that I think he definitely influences a lot of the current versions of Clark Kent and Superman that we have, including Henry Cavill back in the day, Tom Welling, our current Superman, Tyler Hoechlin. I think that Chris Reeve and his performance as the Man of Steel just left such an imprint on the world and on what we all see Superman at. And because of that reason, I was very excited when they announced that this documentary was happening. I wanted to learn more about him and his personal life outside of the films because I really didn't know much. I mean, I knew about as much as maybe the next person. You know, he had an accident in 95 and eventually passed away in 2004. And that was pretty much it. So I was very excited to check this out and just learn a few things about him and about his family and this foundation that he was able to put together. And that is exactly what this documentary does. It teaches. I don't think that there's much critique that you could really give on the documentary. This video is more so about just putting it out there and letting people know that it even exists, because I don't think that the marketing for this documentary was done very well at all. There was only like 4 people in my theater, me and my father with 2 of them. So I don't think they did a great job at marketing this. So this is just kind of letting you know, hey, it exists. So I will say about this documentary that it is very heavy-hearted. Man, there were a few times where it really pulls on your heartstrings. I did not realize just how much this guy and his family were going through because of this accident. And it was really sad because Christopher Reeve was a very adventurous person. He liked to sail. He was a pilot, liked to fly for fun. And it's just crazy that it was a horse riding accident that took him out. The documentary does a very detailed job at showing the family struggles and what they were going through, mainly his wife, what she was kind of dealing with, because the minute Christopher Reeve, got took out, she had to assume the role not only of mother, but as physical father and as caretaker for Christopher Reeve. And you got to imagine, if you're not in that situation, how hard that situation would be. And it's something that not everybody thinks about every day. If you're not in that particular situation, it's not really something that you're thinking about, myself included. And that's what this documentary did, was just push a lot of this stuff forward into my awareness. It went heavy into his personal life, even before the accident, before Superman, and talking about how Christopher Reeve had been typecasted, and a lot of the movies he was doing afterward didn't really take off, and how he was trying so hard to get away from the Superman role and being typecasted that every other role was so different than Superman. Played a lot of grimy characters for getting that role. And it talked a lot about his depression and feeling like he couldn't do anything else, and really not having his head into the game when it came time to film for Superman 3 and 4. A lot of stuff that I just didn't know. The documentary does also a great job at showing how Christopher Reeve never backed down. Even when he went through all of these tragic events, he was very open and very vocal about his condition and trying to help, pushing for help for people in these kind of conditions. He talked whenever he could about pushing for cures and really putting handicapped disabilities on the map, trying to make a difference. Another thing that I didn't know about Chris Reeve is he was actually able to make some progress in this field. And I think that is crazy important, and I think it's a awesome thing that he was able to do. By the end of his life, even he himself was able to make a tremendous leap forward in his condition. He was able to move his fingers quite a bit. He was even able to get some leg movement going. A lot of the times he was in a pool, and that's how they were kind of doing that physical therapy thing, and he was able to push off the side. It was a lot of progress and stuff that he was making, not just for himself, but also for other people. And I think that that is amazing. I didn't realize that a lot of the progress today in that field, dealing with those who are paralyzed or handicapped in any other way, it's to do with the research that was pushed by his foundation. And I think that that is just, it's just dope. To me, Chris Reeve is Superman. He's our Superman. I think that even in spite of the obstacles that were placed in front of him, he was someone who faced these challenges head on and showed how not to give up and how not to let challenges beat you down. Wasn't always perfect, definitely went through those lows, but he was very determined. And if anything, he was definitely a determined person. In many ways, I feel like he parallels Superman, being such a humble, caring, and considerate person who, after obstacle after obstacle, still in some way prevailed and did so much for so many people, especially within the disabled community. And an honorable mention about this documentary, I mentioned that it pulls at the heartstrings, and it does. I did not realize how close Christopher Reeve and Robin Williams were. They were such close friends. Robin Williams was with him through every step of the way. And knowing what we know now, I think that speaks a lot to Robin Williams and his character. And it just really feels tragic, man, that the good ones seem to just go way too soon. But I think that I should leave it there. I don't want to dive too much into spoilers and tell you everything about the documentary. I really think that you should give it a shot and go and check it out for yourself. Even if you don't want to see it in theaters. I know documentaries in theaters is kind of a weird thing. I know. But even if you do see it in theaters, I don't think you'll regret it. If not, wait for it to come out on streaming. I still think that it'll be worth your time, because I think it's something that most of us just really don't know about, and it could help push out that awareness and, you know, put it in our minds, man, that, you know, sometimes things ain't so bad. A lot of other people have it a lot harder. Maybe it'll introduce something to you that you didn't know, and you learn something. I'm gonna let you figure out the rest. That's where I'm gonna leave it on Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. Definitely, please go check it out. And if you did check it out, let me know what you thought about it, how you were feeling about it. And let me know if you even knew that this was a thing. Did you even know that this was out? If you did stay and you watched this whole video, I thank you. Appreciate it. It means a lot. Make sure you hit that like button and push this video out to more people. Make sure also you hit that subscribe button so that you stay updated with any of the future videos that I put out. But like I always tell y'all, man, y'all be smooth. I'm out. Stay geeked up.
What is a hero? My answer was that a hero is someone who commits a courageous action without considering the consequences. Now my definition is completely different. I think a hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles.